Many years after the time of Adam, AS, humanity began to forget the Creator. The world plunged into darkness, and people turned to worshipping lifeless idols of stone. Amidst this ignorance, there was one man who despised these practices. He would gaze at the vastness of the sky and the precision of the stars, concluding that the architect of such a universe could not be these mute statues. He shared this contemplation with his close companions. At first, 7 men agreed with him. Soon the number grew to 70, then 700, and finally 1,000. Seeking a sign, this man filtered his followers. He selected the 100 most righteous, then narrowed them to 70, and finally to the 7 most pure-hearted men. He told them, "Let us 7 place our hands on the earth and pray for a sign." They did so, but nothing happened. Then he said, "Let us raise our hands to the heavens." The moment they did, divine revelation, Wahi, descended. This man was chosen as a prophet. He was Idris, S, known as Enoch in biblical traditions. Idris, S, was a man of immense intellect. He was the first human to teach the art of writing with a pen, the science of astronomy, and the craft of sewing cloth. Before him, people wore animal skins or leaves. He taught them the dignity of stitched clothing. He began preaching the message of one God, but the ruler of that era was a ruthless tyrant. One day the king went out for a stroll and spotted a lush, beautiful piece of land. It belonged to a pious man who had rejected idols to follow Idris, AS. Consumed by greed, the king demanded the land. "I cannot give this to you," the believer said. "My family's livelihood depends entirely on this soil." Enraged but fearing a public uprising, the king returned to his palace. His wife, a cunning woman from the Azarika tribe, saw his distress. "Do not worry," she plotted. "I will send men from my tribe to arrest him. They will testify falsely that he has blasphemed against our idols. You can execute him legally and seize the land." The plan was executed. The innocent believer was martyred, and the king seized his property. Allah commanded Idris, AS, to confront the king. "Tell him, you have murdered my servant and left his family destitute. By my honor, I will take revenge on the day of judgment. But even in this world, I will destroy your kingdom and feed your wife's flesh to the dogs." When Idris, AS, delivered this message, the king was furious and ordered his execution. The prophet was warned by his companions and fled the city, taking refuge in a mountain cave. Heartbroken by the cruelty of his people, Idris, AS, prayed, "O Lord, let no rain fall upon this city until I pray for it myself." Allah granted this request. Idris, AS, ordered his followers to migrate to other lands while he remained in the cave. For sustenance, he would fast during the day, and every evening an angel would bring him food from paradise. Meanwhile, the prophecy came true. The people revolted, killing the king, and his wicked wife was indeed eaten by wild dogs. A new king took the throne, but he was equally tyrannical. 20 years passed. Not a single drop of rain fell. The land turned to dust, and the people were starving. One evening, the angel did not bring food to the cave. The next night and the third, no food came. Overcome by human hunger, Idris, AS, prayed to Allah. The command came, "Now, go and seek your sustenance among the people." He descended to the outskirts of the city and saw an old woman cooking 2 small loaves of bread. "I have not eaten in days." Idris, AS, said, "Please give me a portion." The woman wept. "This is all I have. 1 loaf for me, 1 for my child. If I give you mine, I die. If I give you the child's, he dies." This drought caused by Idris has destroyed us. Give me half of the child's loaf and half of yours, he suggested. She agreed. However, when the child saw his portion taken, he cried out in despair and in his weakened state passed away. The woman screamed, "You have killed my child." Idris A.S. calmed her. "Do not fear. By Allah's permission, he shall rise." He held the child, calling upon the soul to return. Miraculously, the boy breathed again. The woman, witnessing this, realized who stood before her. She ran into the streets shouting, "Idris has returned. Mercy is at hand." The people and the new king rushed to him, begging for rain. "I will not pray," Idris A.S. declared, "until the king and all his subjects walk barefoot to me in total humility." The king, arrogant at first, sent 40 soldiers to arrest the prophet. As they approached, Idris A.S. prayed, and they fell dead. Seeing this power, the starving king finally broke. He and the entire city walked barefoot to the prophet, heads bowed in repentance. Idris A.S. raised his hands. Before his prayer even ended, the skies roared, and life-giving rain poured down, ending the 20-year drought. Years later, a specific angel who had fallen from grace sought Idris A.S. to intercede for him. Idris A.S. prayed, and Allah forgave the angel. "Ask for anything in return," the angel offered. "I wish to meet the angel of death, Malikul Maut," Idris A.S. replied. The angel carried Idris A.S. on his wings, ascending through the heavens. When they reached the fourth heaven, they encountered the angel of death descending. The angel of death was stunned. "Glory be to Allah. I was commanded to take the soul of Idris in the fourth heaven, yet he was on earth. I wondered how this could be possible, but here you are." Destiny was fulfilled. Idris A.S. passed away in the heavens, a station of high honor, just as it was written.